When I travel with my kids, we always try and do one educational thing a day. It usually involves going to a museum. And museums are great, they're important, but they're also exhausting, right? Acting like you're interested in that crap. There's so much pressure to be impressed in a museum. It's like, ooh, look at that, kids. Wow, that's a water fountain. What do we got over here? And I've been to all types of museums. You know, I've been to children's museums, which are really just museums of diseases your kids can get from other people's kids. It's like, why don't you go over there and see if we can get the chicken pox? In Stockholm, I brought my kids to a ship museum, the Vasa Museum. It was a ship museum, but it only had one ship, so it felt more like a ship garage. But that one ship, the Vasa ship, sunk on its maiden voyage in Stockholm's harbor in the 1700s, which is not good. But that's the largest attraction in Sweden. Most countries, their big attraction is a design marvel, like the Sydney Opera House or the Eiffel Tower. But Sweden was like, here's our boat that didn't float. This is why we make furniture that ironically floats. Often the museums are art museums, and those are the most intimidating, right? Because in art museums, they tell us what is the good art. We have no say in the matter. Like, that's good art. Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it. They treat everyone like a child at an art museum. They're like, don't touch anything. Nobody touch anything. I wasn't gonna. Now I kind of want to. Everyone's speaking in hushed tones. Be respectful. We're about to look at the work of a madman. He painted this after he chopped off his own ear. Why are we whispering? Van Gogh's dead. Even if he was alive, he couldn't hear us. Recently after a show, someone came up to me, they're like, you know, it's not pronounced Van Gogh, it's pronounced Billy Joel. I do find it hard to leave art museums, mainly because I can't find the exit. Create another room filled with paintings of ugly Dutch people. In the 1600s, they painted every ugly Dutch person. Hey, you're hard to look at. Can I do your portrait? Making that hay look good, aren't you? Fine art. I sometimes feel like it's wasted on me. You know, like the Mona Lisa, we've all seen the Mona Lisa. The most beautiful smile in the world. The most beautiful smile. I'm like, have you seen Halle Berry? Heck, have you seen Chuck Berry? I don't even know if Mona Lisa's smiling. To me, it looks like she's just came from the dentist. She's like, Novocaine's wearing off. Art museums will occasionally ask if you'd like to become a member. Would you like to become a member? How often would I have to come here? I think I can only pretend to be interested once. There's always people sketching in an art museum. I always point them out to security. I'm like, copying. Got a forgery happening mid-forge. Those art museum security guards, you know, they're important. Some of that art is priceless. Some of it's on loan. You see that next to a painting. On loan from a rich person. The poor people may look at my art. Don't let them get their peasant fingers on it. Some of that art is priceless. Recently, a Da Vinci painting sold for $450 million. What room do you put that in your house? I put that in the game room. It was a Da Vinci painting, Salvatore da Mundo. It was a painting of Jesus, but it's not like Da Vinci even knew what Jesus looked like. He painted it 1,500 years after Jesus walked the earth. So he was just guessing. He's like, I don't know, he's got brown eyes probably? I don't know. He probably just painted someone he knew. You know, back in the day, people were like, what is that, your nephew Eddie? Da Vinci's like, no, that's Jesus. The savior of the world. Eddie's wearing the same outfit as that. That's a coincidence. The kids were with me. In Amsterdam, I brought my kids to the Anne Frank house. I told some friends that, and they're like, aren't your kids a little young for the Anne Frank house? And you know what I learned? They are. They're too young. But I wanted to bring them. You know, it's an important place. I want them to learn. So I brought them. We were standing outside the Anne Frank house, and I said, this is a special, somber place. This is where Anne Frank, her family, and some friends hid from the Nazis for 2 years, and they couldn't speak during the day. And Anne also wrote this diary, so let's be respectful. My 6-year-old raised his hand, and he goes, do they have video games here? And I said, I'm going to need you to be quiet. for the rest of your life. Bought tickets online to the Anne Frank house. I Googled it. The Anne Frank house has a Google rating of 4.4 out of 5 stars. Who's giving the Anne Frank house a bad review? It's like, yeah, wasn't that fun? It's kind of crowded, and there were no video games. Why do we feel the need to review everything? Nobody's going to Anne Frank's house looking for hot dogs. I misread it. I thought it was Anne Frank house. I was getting ready to have me an Amsterdam dog. It's beautiful here. I hope you had a nice summer, because there's pressure to enjoy summer, right? I'm from the Midwest. It's almost a panic. It's like, go out there, have fun. Winter's coming to kill us. Go get skin cancer now! Because there's an expectation of fun during summer. In winter, we discuss summer with such reverence. In January, you'd think we were talking about a family pet that passed away. Remember summer? I miss summer. I have photos of summer. That's when we were a happy family. Summer's presented as a vacation. It's like a 3-month vacation for nobody but children. And who doesn't deserve a few months off after the rigors of kindergarten? I have 5 young children. During summer, they lounge around like they've just returned from fighting ISIS. 3rd grade was a beast. Summer vacation does kind of set up an adulthood of disappointment. That first job, you're like, I have to go to work in July? What is this, Russia? There's a strange pressure to travel during summer. Are you going somewhere this summer? Why do I have to go somewhere? Well, we lived here during the horrible weather. Now that it's nice, we should go somewhere else. I'm a very pale white guy. You know, I've yet to be the victim of any type of discrimination. I've been the victim of someone assuming I'd enjoy a racist joke. Have you ever had that? You're like, well, why would you think I'd want to hear that? Hey, he looks like he'd enjoy a little hatred. Maybe this bigotry will brighten his day. If anyone would have a problem with people with pigmentation, be the pale fella. But I know what I look like. I'm not saying I don't forget. You ever forget what you look like and then you walk in front of a mirror and you're like, oh no. When did that happen? Because during the day you're like, I'm Brad Pitt, I'm John Goodman. What's wrong with John Goodman? But it's not that bad. It's easier to be a guy anyway. I mean, there's sexism, but just the day-to-day life of being a woman, honestly, it looks too hard. Just hair, what some women have to deal with, cut and color and goos and potions. What do most guys have to deal with their hair? Not having a mullet. That's all a guy has to do is not have a mullet, A+. And there's still some guys that can't pull that off. They're not talking about my mullet, are they? No, you've got a good mullet. It's easier to be a guy. Makeup, some women wear makeup. Most guys don't change their pants because their belt's in there. Are these jeans dirty? Is there a belt in there? Ask me in 2019. And I'm not saying women are doing any of these things to please or impress a man, but some of it's self-inflicted, like the eyebrow thing. I mean, that's on you, ladies. There's not a person on this planet that's sitting there going, I'm looking for someone who's removed 90% of their eyebrow hair. I don't even know what some of these ladies are going for. It's like, I want to look constantly surprised. Like I'm about to eat a baby. But it's a man's world. I don't have a joke for that. I just want to remind the ladies. I'm kidding. The weird thing is, if you have little kids, if you have little boys and little girls, you would never think it would ever be a man's world. Because if you put a 3-year-old boy next to a 3-year-old girl, and you had to pick who was going to be in charge in the future, you wouldn't be like, the boy, the one chewing on the table. Because little boys are savages. I have 3 little boys. Each of them has headbutted me for no reason at all. Oh, well, we are in church. Okay. It's different. When you have a daughter, you have thoughts like, maybe I should save for med school. When you have a son, you're like, there's going to be a couple rounds of rehab. That's okay. I have 3 boys, 2 girls. I have enough kids where even Mormons are like, you should settle down. I travel with my kids. My two youngest are 3 and 5-year-old boys. And traveling with boys that age is like transferring serial killers between prisons. We've seen the movie. You know it doesn't work out. My 3-year-old, I love him, but he's eternally in a bad mood. He always has a look on his face like he's gonna shiv you with a crayon or he's pooping. And sometimes it's both. And our 5-year-old, he's an escape artist. He's the El Chapo of children. You just put him down and he runs. And then I have to pay my 12-year-old to go get him. Sometimes she can't find him and I'm forced to stand up and look for my own child. Sometimes I can't find him. I mean, you always find the kid. The joke doesn't end with, no, I got 4 kids, you know? You find the kid. They're with a security guard. They're always with a security guard. That's an awkward approach, because I'm with my 4 other kids. I look like a moving diorama for birth control. Doesn't help that I'm usually eating something. It's hard to seem concerned about your child's whereabouts holding a corn dog. Oh, there he is. Now where's Mustard? But that's parenting. It's stressful. Parenting is a sacrifice. It's exhausting. It's expensive. At times it feels thankless, but eventually you die. My wife hates that joke. My wife hates that joke. And in full disclosure, she does 90% of the work, and the 10% I do feels like too much. Like, I'm getting ripped off. 10% of 5 kids. That means I'm in charge of 1 kid for like half a day. I'm like a single mom. That's a joke where the audience thinks, maybe Jim is a dick. But my wife is amazing. Even in the most stressful moments, I will catch her looking at me with an expression that could only be described as regret. But she's Catholic, so there's no quitting the team. Thank you, Jesus. I'm aware my wife is out of my league. She's very thin and attractive. I look like I had 2 wives and I ate one of them. She's amazing. She's my writing partner. We do everything together. She's brilliant. She's creative. And I can't read her handwriting. No, we're total equals. I mean, when we rent a car, I won't let her drive. And that's not sexism. I just don't want to die. She can drive my kids around. I don't care about that. But if I'm in the car, She's amazing. Probably the most impressive thing my wife can do is her ability to remember absolutely every horrible thing I've ever done. And she'll just bring it up. We'll be watching television. She'll be like, remember that time you humiliated me when we went out to dinner? Now I do. I must have blocked it out searching for self-esteem.